What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more trance. And we're back with another version of Atlantis and their tune, See You in the Next Life. Though as you can see on this release, they're listed as Atlantis ITA. And yeah, this is the DJ Scot Project remix. My computer is rebooting right now. I had to restart it. So I can't check in the moment. By the time the video, or by the time this reaction ends, I should be able to check. So I should be able to talk about it during the video. But yeah, DJ Scot Project, it's a name that I definitely remember. I have, I think, one or two of their records. And I say they because I think it's a duo. In the moment, I'm not remembering for sure, but I think it's a duo. But they have a number of tracks that are sort of in the like acid trance, acid techno Venn diagram. And I think a number of their tunes have like letters and or numbers. It'll be like, you know, C or, you know, like 4 or like C4. Like I don't remember exactly, but I remember their track names are not the typical, you know, word or phrase. They're like alphanumeric, and ultimately I think 2 or 3 of them in particular are noteworthy. So again, it's not an artist I'm overly familiar with. I think it's a duo. I'll check by the end of the video. In any case, this version of See You in the Next Life is very much the more up-tempo, more energetic trance version. It's less melancholic than the original. It's less acidic maybe than the Push remix. Like the acid in the version we're about to listen to, I would say, is more like the rhythm guitar of the tune, whereas in the Push remix, for large parts of the track, the acid is like the lead guitar. It's like the main you know, part of the tune. Here it's more supplementary or supportive. But it's definitely a track for a slightly more energetic trance set compared to the original, certainly, and even maybe the Push remix, which again is more in that like tripped out while also being melodic vein. So let's listen. This is Atlantis, or as they're shown here, Atlantis ITA, their track See You in the Next Life, and it's the DJ Scot Project remix, although I think this is the original on this side. I think this is the remix. I'll know right away. Yeah. Well, I can't hear you in this one, mate. Bit of jazziness to that synth. I'll see you in the next life. 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 I was checking because I knew that was not the real kick. I didn't remember quite how big the actual kick was. Very techno-esque.
next life.
Some of the acid riffing is liquidy, but some of it is like sharp, electric. But the backing pad's very much the same atmosphere as the original. But this lead melody here, like that little hangover at the end of the measure followed by the reintroduction of the acid. And the acid like running up inside the melody. These are the kind of parts that really get me. Not as supplementary as I thought. More central, at least in parts.
I'll see you in the next life.
I forgot about this. I got this version of the track years after the other two. Buzzing synth doing the lead, but for that moment the acid like creeps up and does the same thing. Ugh. usually play this to the end of the track. It's, you know, to me it's sort of a middle of the set type of track. But it's really interesting because again, like, a lot of the backing there sort of faded out as the kick carried on. Normally it'll just drop out at the end of the measure. The track itself faded out. You never see that. It doesn't happen. Okay, so it's not like a proper fade out. But again, it's telling that over the years, a lot of these tracks, you know, I use them in certain ways, and if it's a track that I rarely or never end a set with, sometimes the end of the tune is like, damn, like, you know, I don't normally hear this part of the track because I've normally mixed out by this time. So again, doing reactions is enlightening. Yeah, so, you know, number one, it's even better than I remembered. I was saying when I was reacting to the Push remix that maybe one of the 3 trance versions isn't on the same level. I actually think it is. Like, this would have been the one that I would have maybe put a half step lower than the other 2, but I think it's actually fantastic. And ultimately the acid does play a bigger role. I still think it's supportive except for those 2 interludes, one after the first part of the melody, one after the second part of the melody before it goes to the genuine outro. But yeah, it's got a nice kick drum, you know, real kind of poppy kick drum with some oomph to it. It's got sort of a nice, vibrant, acidy bass. Ultimately, again, more acid work than I thought. I love the acid, like doubling the melody. And yeah, ultimately a good progression of the track. So here we go. I do have the internet open, so we can, in fact, check for the other version. Okay, so this version is 99 also, though later in the year. Okay, so the original mix is based on the end theme of Turrican 2, which is, I guess, a game? Well, you learn something new every day. I don't think that note was on Discogs for a long time. Interesting. So let's check Scot Project. No, it's just one guy, Frank Zenker. So yeah, I apologize. I was trying to, you know, give him half credit. Yeah, the harder edge of trance with a plethora of remixes and hit productions under his name. But yeah, ultimately that does make sense to me because, as I said, I was remembering it sort of like it's kind of acid trance, it's kind of techno, and yeah, the harder edge of trance would make sense that my brain was, you know, there's some tunes where you could use them in a techno set. So yeah, shout out to him. I really do think it's a top remix. All things considered, you know, the next version that I'm going to listen to is a different genre, and it came out like more than a decade later, so, or I don't know about more than a decade later, but definitely well into the 2000s. So, of the trance mixes, even though again I think you can use them all in different sets and they all kind of have their own lane, if forced to pick a favorite, in the moment I'm really feeling the Push version. I think most of my DJ history, if you ask me that question, I would say the original. Right now I might answer the Push version, but I suppose, again, the original, it's the one that sets the standard. So either way, curious to hear what people have to say. I will come back for the other version, and you'll let me know what you think of that too. Peace.